Hello, it's Karen, the Weekend Craftaholic, and I have got a little bit of a product review for you. So if you saw my recent craft haul, you'll know that I recently got this kit from Craspire. I've got all the product links down below for you. Now, they do sell kits, they do sell things singular. The little stand that I've got to put the spoon on, they do sell that separately. But what I did get in the kit were these pens, a silver and gold metallic pen. You get the handle and you also get one of the seals as well. Now I purchased some additional ones. They did kindly send me some of these free of charge, but I did buy some additional ones as well. So I've got 6 seals in total, and I'm just keeping them in this little 5x7 pocket as well. This is the thing that I absolutely love, which is the little wax chips. So you can see here, there's so many different rainbow colours. There's a lot to choose from. So what I'm going to do today, I've never actually done wax sealing at all. I've watched a couple of videos just to get a flavour of what it looks like. And I got the idea actually from Emma Lefave. I'll put a video link below as well, because she also does a product review. So this is absolutely my first time trying it, just to see how easy or difficult it may be. And then I plan on doing a follow-up video where I actually, once I've had a bit of a play with it and got used to it and figured some stuff out, I'll do a follow-up video which talks about some top tips and ways you can use wax seals in your crafting projects. So first of all, obviously it also comes with these little candles, so 4 of these little tea lights, but you can obviously use any tea light under here. And this is what's going to warm up the wax. Now, the reason I love this extra stand and the reason I purchased this stand was because I didn't want to just have to hold the spoon while the wax melts. Now, I'm obviously doing a voiceover, so I know from doing this that it probably took a couple of minutes to have 2 drops of these little chips melt. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to just be holding that for 2 minutes. What I'm going to do for this, I'm going to use some baking paper, or you may know it as parchment paper, greaseproof paper, depending where you are in the world, there's different names for it. But by doing it on here means that I'm going to be able to just practice and make some of these without putting it straight on paper. Towards the end of the video, I do try it on some black cardstock, but for the majority of the time, I'm just using it on this parchment paper. And the reason I wanted to do that is because I think what I'm going to do is make my wax seals in bulk. I'm going to do lots of different colours with all my different seals, keep them with my supplies, and then I've got them ready to go whenever I need to use them. And then I can just attach them with liquid glue or foam adhesive, whatever it may be, to the project that I want to use it on. Because I think if I was to get this out every time I want to use it, I know that I just won't do it. It'll be too much of an effort. So this is a bit of trial and error. You saw me do 2 chips. Not quite sure at this stage in the playing around whether or not 2 is enough. Turns out it's absolutely perfect with these particular ones from Craspire. And you can see it gives you just a little bit of enough of overflow once you press it in to be able to still see the extra part of that. Now you may have noticed straight away, before I even started to do this, I did put some more chips in so I could get it to start melting already and save a little bit of time. And then I just very gently squished the seal on top of the wax. I've left it alone just for a few seconds really, so that the wax starts to solidify. And you can see this was my very first time. I obviously took it off too soon. So there was lots of little stringy bits because it wasn't quite set long enough. So you can see it also, I'm having a little bit of trouble taking that off. So again, that tells me I obviously did something wrong. And for each of these, by the way, I am actually changing the seal in between all of my attempts, because what I wanted to do is also keep, for my inventory book, a page full, so I know what wax seal impressions that I've got, so I know what they look like. Now, as I'm pouring the wax here, I am just pouring it straight on top of each other because I kind of want it to flow in a circular shape. It did take a few little goes, making sure I got the wax not too hot, because you can see it start to bubble, but yet melted enough that it will pour very well. Because you can see there in the spoon, there is still quite a lot of that wax left. Now I decided, because I had trouble with the first impression, to use my little Cricut scraper just to see if that helps get the wax off, and it certainly did help. But further, once I've done a few more goes, I realise I don't need that at all. I just need a little bit more patience. So, not going to give you a spoiler alert, but what I will say is, after doing this about 6-7 times, I feel like completely comfortable, completely confident. It was good to have a little practice with these, which is why actually I chose the yellow colour, because I thought that's probably a colour I'm not going to use very often. So I'm going to use up some of these chips. I'll use my least favourite colour, shall we say, out of them all. Now I do cut out some of the footage because I don't think you particularly want to see me do this 6 times over, just repeating the process. But you will see those appeared later on in the video as well. If you've never used wax seals before and have been interested, a bit like me, then I think this is going to be something that's going to come around again in popularity. I've seen a few more crafters using it than normal. I think it's a bit like the stencil revival. People didn't use stencils or embossing folders for years, and then suddenly they become popular again. So I reckon my top tip is that wax seals are going to start to appear more in people's crafting projects. I've already seen on Instagram people using them on their memory decks. Of course, we use them in our scrapbooking. You can even, some of the collections from Paige Evans and Maggie Holmes, they actually provide some of the kits, some fake or faux wax seals anyway as part of it. But I think this is going to be a much more affordable way of doing it and making your own designs. Some of the ones that I've got the letter K, I've got hello, I've got Merry Christmas. I've got pretty generic ones that I can use for most things. Of course, the traditional way of using them is on the back of letters, as well as, you know, wedding invitations. But I have got some ideas of things to do. So definitely, if you're not a subscriber, I'd love you to subscribe, because in the coming weeks I will be showing another video of some uses for this as well. But this video is primarily first time using, because if I'm doing a product review, I want to do it on camera. I want you to see what's and all, my mistakes, my successes, so you can see here just how easy it is to use. I think this would be great as well if you've got like a teenage daughter or you know, a younger member of the family that wants to try something different. I think this would be great for them to get involved in as well. If they're not particularly interested in paper crafting, I think it's another way of doing this. So this is where you'll see me now start to use, this is just a piece of scrap black cardstock. And if you pay attention to the spoon, you'll see it start to, you can see the steam or the smoke that's coming off the wax. So this is an example of where I left it on just a little bit too long, and you can start to smell it in a little bit of a way as well. I don't know if it makes a difference to the end product or not, but you can see when I take the seal off this, it almost becomes a lot thinner or transparent, so you do actually see the black underneath. So I guess depending on what type of effect you want, if you want it to look like that, then maybe leave your wax on a little bit longer. To clean in between, it is still quite hot, so you've got to be careful. I've just got some tissue paper here, and as you can see, I'm just rubbing it inside and outside. It comes off really easily. You can see I've got a little bit of drop on it there on my little holder as well, and again that just wipes off because the bronze or the copper around that is quite warm as well, so you've got to be careful with this. So this is the letter K that I mentioned, and you can see a little bit of the black there as well. I really do like that extra bit around the circle as well, and the fact that some of it isn't a full circle in that top left hand corner, and you've got a little bit more at the bottom. This is where I decide, okay, I'm feeling pretty confident. I've done the 6 of them. You can see I also did to the right another one in a lighter colour, and you can see me here just about to reveal as well. So this was the first time me using my fingers rather than the little scraper to get it off, and you see that was the one that said hello on it. So that was another colour that I tried. But I started to get a little bit confident here. I decided to see what would happen if I mixed 2 different colours together. So this is the blue and the white that's melting now. I don't know if I've ruined it or not, but I did get a toothpick just to mix them together before I poured it. I think next time what I do is leave it as it is and see if maybe it gives more of that acrylic pour effect, if you know what I'm meaning, where you get the colours spread out from the centre to the edges. But either way, I think the effect is absolutely great, depending on what 2 colours you decide to mix. I also think if I was going to try and mix colours again next time, I'd actually put 4 of the chips in, so I've got double the quantity, and then potentially do 2 wax seals at once, because you can see here, I probably didn't leave it as long as I should have done. It didn't seem to get as much wax out as I was previously, so wasn't a complete wax seal that I could have used, I don't think, by the time I stamped the impression on it. So you can see me here just trying to get a bit more of that out. You can see there's a lot there left in the spoon. So again, as I said, one of the things you probably need is a little bit of patience, which is another reason why I'd probably want just a session doing this and then have them all pre-made as best I can, so that when I'm crafting I can just pick them off and use them. Now the other thing I would say with this is when you see me take the seal off, you see there's not a lot left on there, and I decide that it's probably not something I'm going to use. If you do get any of your wax seals that don't turn out the way you want, you decide you don't want to use it, you can also reheat that. So I could put that back on the spoon and reuse that wax. So definitely don't throw any of these away. If it was just one solid colour, I'd probably just put it back in my container to use it next time. As this was a mix of the two, I'll leave it with all my wax seals and stuff so that I can still use it later. So that is my very quick first attempt and run through using this. It definitely is a win for me. I would definitely recommend it. Beginners, advanced, it's something so easy. I think anyone could pick it up. And when you see this gorgeous rainbow of colours, why wouldn't you want to have a play with this? So I'm going to keep these yellow ones because these are like my mock-ups for each of these, and I'm going to put them in my inventory, then I know which ones I've got. I'm definitely going to be going back purchasing more of the stamp heads from Craspire. Definitely check them out below, they've got lots of offers on at the moment. The ones at the top I'll just reuse, and that's another thing I love about these wax seals, nothing will go to waste, everything will get used. So I hope you enjoyed that. Any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Have a great crafting week.